Hari Om. Continue reading our Chudamani Upanishads. And we're in the mantra 22b, 23a, Prana Vayus. First is Sanskrit. Prana apana samakya vyano danau cha vaya vach nagah kurmata krikaro devadato danyanyah. In translation is, the vital airs are named Prana, Apana, Samana, Vyana, Udana, and Naga, Kurma, Krikara, Devadatta, and Dhananjaya. And the commentary are following. The Prana Vayus refers to the vital airs active in all beings, which are responsible for existence and life. Although the prana in the body is one force, it has traditionally been divided into 5 categories according to area and function. And they're collectively known as the Pancha 5 pranas, Prana, Apana, Samana, Udana, and Vyana. There are also 5 upa-pranas or secondary pranas, Naga, Kurma, Krikara, Devadatta, and Dhananjaya. The 5 pranas maintain the major body parts and functions, while the 5 upa-pranas are concerned with minor actions, so the supplementary, secondary ones. Not supplementary, but more secondary. Yeah? Vayus or vital airs flow through these 10 pranic fields. Vayus or vital airs flow through these 10 pranic fields. Each vayu is the movement associated with one pranic field and has the same name. For example, Prana Vayus is the movement within the Apana energy field. The breathing process generates the vayu. By controlling the vayus, subtle manifestations of prana can be channeled. And that's very basics for everybody who study or practice yoga. And again, I repeat, in my Prana Pranayama, they have more detailed description, and we talk about this a lot there in my videos, which have been already published. The interesting points here encompasses translation, probably that the Vayus refers to the vital air active in all beings, which are responsible for existence and life. And it's very cross-related to the prana, that is what is prana. And I really in detail dive into this in my previous series when we talk about what is yoga and prana, pranayama. But as it's stated there, nothing can exist without prana. So this breath of life, which we talk about, and it's kind of depicted in, I don't know, in the childhood, for example, cartoons that show like somebody touched somebody and they become alive, or something can become magically alive. So this like spirit quality which make stone alive, if we can, talk about this like that in this term. You can make a figure of the person from the stone, but it's not become alive, and then in some kind of movie or legends, for example, ancient Greek legends, you can touch them and they become a person. So that's what the actual meaning of the Prana Vayus, the Prana Vayus here. Vayus, it's more like a winds and more like a suburbs of your vayu within the city of your prana. When the channels Nadis, it's more like a highways or the streets. And so we cannot differentiate the vayus from actual prana meaning. So it is the prana, but we just kind of just make this division. So this kind of prana here, which resides here, for example, flows more forward or up, responsible for one functions in your body, and there it's there. But again, we're not sure probably if we separate these vayus in a living person, it won't be the living person anymore. But we do know from experience of practicing yoga that if you shut down one of the vayus, you cannot shut it down fully unless you actually like a kill or cut down this energy field. But you cannot just shut down it without removing everything. But you can very diminish it, and that's when the serious problem with the health can come to this person, or incompetence to use parts of the body or do some functions in the body. And that's when towards the elderly age people start more experience, because through the life they, for example, neglected one habits and encompasses other habits which not so positive for our nadi channels. That's what I talked in the previous couple of videos. And eventually these areas become stagnant, not used, or opposite, overused, and the falling disease coming. And very often people call those diseases or just the age disease, genetics, or it could be attributed to chronic disease. And but I don't consider this true. So whatever people approach me and they say they have this chronic disease, or they had it, so that's what's chronic. Or often you go to doctors, and if they don't have an answer for you, like you have this because you went there and you pick up this virus, but you have this strange qualities of your body which kind of like coming back and go away, or maybe never go away, and they usually attributed it like you were born like that, or it's genetics, so you already had it before you were born. How can you say that? Yeah, like, okay, maybe I had some properties of my pranic body which I inherited from my previous reincarnation, and I come to this life. It means you're admitting the reincarnation. But in a sense, they're just looking on your parents, and they assuming, they now proven it genetically that this is your tendency. But as we know, everybody have all the combination of the genes, and they are repeating, and they are similar people or animals. So can you really pinpoint, you have these genes, so you're gonna become alcoholic, for example? No, that will be your tendency in your life. You're more susceptible to addictions because your pranic, energetic body. As I told you before, everything physical disease, it's already a reflection of falling apart on a higher levels, some blockages, not even falling apart, but like some overuse or underuse of particular channels or emotions which connected to your pranic body, and so on. So in the yoga science, all these things can be and also be healed very fast. Also could be considered to be together. All these things in the yogic science considered to be part of one, and you can, of course, treat and get rid of whatever chronic disease you have, or never get them. At the same time, our physical body, our activities in this life, or something we do with our body consistently, even the posture, the way you stand or sleep, or the time when you sleep or stand, it's all can affecting your pranic body, spiritual body, and so on. And what I find today, a lot of people have very major problem with losing interest to life as itself, or the happiness. They're going to become bored very fast, and it's probably more obvious with the younger generations. And of course, part of it, it's us older people who older generations who not sparking this interest in love to life in these younger generations. We have to show them this. And I was very lucky enough to have community, family, friends, teachers. I have all sorts of people I met in my life, but 1 on 100 who spark some interest or love for any particular knowledge, life, earth, science, art, spark this interest in me. And sometimes I keep going on something in one conversation from childhood. So it's very important, this communication with older generations. But if older generations too busy, or they themselves don't understand what's happening on the physical level, pranic body with them, of course the children will suffer, and younger generations find it. They more complain of this, like we're bored of everything. Everything is tasteless in terms of interest, or they give up everything too fast. They don't have this assertion and yearning for particular things. Or if they do have the way the society works or the way life works, it's discouraged too fast, or there's something else coming out. Partially is what we have today in the world is discourage this love and interest, spark of love and interest, like social media, availability of everything, everywhere and right now. But in the same time, also the disconnection with your physical and pranic body. In particular, this pranic body's vayus, understanding how does it work. So I hope you dive into the understanding of your vayus and realizing that not everything just works on the physical level. The physical body is just one part of it. It's like the top of your iceberg. When you have all majority of stuff actually under the water, you should realize that. Hari Om.